I'm going to go through a couple of the questions I've had about the daily schedule, and then I'm going to talk about how to sign up for your department office hours. So taking a look at our daily schedule, this is the same that we sent out in that survey on Monday. The only difference is that we took out the 15-minute break between block 1 and block 2 and added it to the daily connect time to give those foundations teachers more time to connect with students and do those SEL lessons. First thing I'm going to talk about is the new content schedule, and this is going to be similar to last year. ELA, Math, Science, and Social Studies will be sending out new content on Mondays and Wednesdays, while the electives department, Aerospace, Art, Health, Lifelong Fitness, Physical Education, and Music will be sending out new content on Tuesdays and Thursdays. The plan right now is to have nobody sending out new content on Fridays to allow students a full day to catch up or work on anything that they need to work on without getting new stuff on Fridays. So that's when the new content is being sent out. Now let's talk about our daily schedule. On Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, we have a staff check-in from 9:15 to 9:30. Every day after the staff check-in, we'll be moving into our first live learning block. And when you hear live learning, I want you to think of this as office hours. And what that means is when you're doing a live learning block, you'll be sitting at your computer with your Google Meets open, ready for students to drop in and ask questions or just hang out with you as they're doing their work. All right, so it's really thinking about these as office hours. Now we have 3 live learning blocks, 9:30 to 11, 11 to 12:30, and 2:30 until 4. We have our foundations time during the middle of the day, and this foundations time is the only required synchronous time for students during the day. During this time, we're expecting students to be live, logged in with their foundations teachers, doing those foundations lessons with their foundations teachers. But this is the only required synchronous time for students. The rest of this time is intended to be asynchronous. Then we have lunch. We have our afternoon meetings, just like last year. The exception is on Friday, since we have no scheduled meetings, we might want to discuss having foundations teachers doing an office hours together, just in case foundation students need a little extra support, or we might have sort of a fun activity happening during this time, but we'll be talking about this a little bit later. Our final block and then the last 15 minutes of the day is intended to be teacher prep time. Now, when you sign up for these blocks within your department, it's really intended for each teacher to only be doing 1 block per day unless you want to do more of them. And what that means is when one teacher is doing a block, the other teachers in that department are off and doing prep, preparing lessons, grading things, interacting individually with students or families if they've scheduled something, that kind of stuff. So when you're on duty for a block, you're live on your computer. When you're not on duty, you're doing whatever other professional responsibilities you need to get done. All right, now I'm going to talk about signing up for your office hours or your live learning blocks. So in the email I sent out, this is what you're going to see right away. And I've got the department listed and the staff that are in that department. I pulled this right off our master schedule, so if there's any mistakes, you can go ahead and fix them. What you need to do is find the section that is your department, and then fill in who's going to be doing the office hour on each day of the week. And so I'll give sort of an example here. So let's say I'm working for the aerospace engineering department, and we've decided that I, Mr. Richards, am going to be doing the 9:30 to 11 o'clock block every day. All I would do is fill in my name for this 9:30 to 11 o'clock block for every day of the week. Now, this is probably the simplest way to do things, and it's probably the most consistent for students so that they know you're always online at the same time each day. But if you think it would be useful to switch times, for example, let's say on Tuesdays and Thursdays, we want to do this where we flip-flop a little bit. You can do that as well, and you're going to be deciding that within your department. All right. Now this works really straightforward when you have only 3 people in your department, and you can just do 1 person per block each day. If you have more people in your department, you have a couple options. You can either decide to split up the total number of blocks, 15, among the staff in your department so everybody has approximately the same number of blocks per week, or you can double up on blocks. For example, in the ELA department, we have 6 teachers, and what they could do is put 2 staff members in each block every day. And what that would do is when students log on, they will have 2 meeting rooms open for ELA office hours happening at the same time. And that might be useful in order, again, to keep the students a little bit more consistent so that they always know that the same teachers are online at the same time. But again, it's completely up to your department to figure out how you're going to fill these in. ELL and SPED departments, this is a guide, and you can decide to follow this if you want to, or if you have a different schedule that you think is going to work better for your students, absolutely go for it. And that's the same with 5th grade. You know your students, you know your content area the best, and if you need to do a completely different schedule, go ahead and do that. All right, if you have any questions, you can email me. We'd like to get this done by the end of the day on on Wednesday, so that during our digital open house, you can point families to when you'll be online during the day, so that kids can know right away when to come see you during the day. All right, take care.